Hey folks, Jim here. I'm going to go ahead and show you a few features of the killer content system. The first thing you want to do when you come into the dashboard area here is go to Site Manager and add your websites. I just have a couple in here right now. I have tons of websites and eventually I'll be adding all of them in here. Once you've added your sites, go back to the dashboard and click on Projects. So you create new projects, and I have a project created for each one of my sites that I added. Once that's done, go back to the dashboard, click on Moneymakers. Okay, Moneymakers is where you add the money-making ads that you want to put on the top and bottom of your articles. There's some popular, looks like ClickBank products here that you can just click and use if you want one of those. But you can add anything you want. So if you click on Create a New Moneymaker, you're going to get, well, I'll show you. You put in the title, whatever you want to call it. This title doesn't show up in the article or anything like that. This is so that you know which moneymaker you're picking when you put it on top and bottom of your articles. So, you could put Google 468 by 15, for example. And let me show you one of these that I have added. So, I have 3 moneymakers added. And I'll just go ahead and edit one of these so you can see what it looks like. So in the title, I put Google 468 by 15. This is a Google AdSense block. And just copy-pasted the Google code into the thing. I did the same thing with an Amazon ad and the same thing with a ClickBank ad. So, and then you just save it, and they're always in your moneymakers. And I'll show you where you use this here in a minute. So let's go back to the dashboard. So what you've done so far, you went first into Site Manager and added your websites. You went into Projects and created a project for each one of your sites. And you went into Moneymakers and added some of the ClickBank, Amazon, Google AdSense, whatever products that you want on the top and bottom of your articles that you're going to be posting to your blogs. Okay? Now, let's go to the articles. So a couple ways we can do it. We can, look at the niches on the left side here and drill down and find articles that way. However, there's this big search box on top. Let's just, let's do fat loss. There's thousands of articles out here, especially in the popular niches like fat loss, internet marketing, things like that. So as you can see, it's pulled up a bunch of articles that talk about fat loss. It has those keywords in. And, there's many pages of them. So there's a lot of articles on fat loss out here. So if I just go ahead and pick an article, ways to burn stubborn body fat, opens up the article for me here. I can go ahead and take a look at it and whatnot. I'm going to click on Edit Spin. So how the spinning tool works is, I could highlight the whole title, for example, because let's say I'm going to spin up, 5-10 of these articles, all unique. I'm going to want to make a few different titles to go on top of them. So I'm going to highlight the whole title, hit spin, and then I would type in, whatever my alternate titles are going to be, like reduce, body fat fast or something. I'm just using these for an example here, folks. I'm not actually going to publish this article. And then what I would do is go through each paragraph of the article, just scan through quickly, and I would highlight, a few words like that I want to spin. Like I'll highlight exclusively and I'll click on spin. And it brings up some suggestions, or if I don't like any of them, I could type in my own. And, I'll just pick one of theirs, or I could pick all 4 of them, or whatever I want to do, and it puts it in there. So that'll be a variation in one of the articles. This will be a variation in one of the articles. And how I do it is I go through and I usually change 2-3 things in each paragraph. Okay? And depending on how long the article is, how thorough you are, how unique you want your articles, you can put a little time into it. To get your head wrapped around this, when I get, say, 10 of my weight loss sites in this tool, I'll go ahead and go through here and I'll change 2-3 things in each paragraph, and then I'll go here and I'll say create 10 unique articles. Right now, just for demonstration, I'm just going to tell it to create 3 and hit go. So there's the original. I got 3 very unique variations of that article. I could go through here very quickly and say save to project and save them to my whatever website project I want. So let's say I save this one to legfat.org and submit, and let's say I save this one to howtoreducethighs.org and submit. And what that does is it submits them to your project. It's not putting them out on your site yet. I'll show you that in a minute. So just to show you an example, I'll save this one to leg fat. Hit submit. Okay, and then I can save this one to my favorites if I didn't want to do anything with it right now. If I wanted to pull it up later and add it to a project and put it out there. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and go back to the dashboard. And let's go to projects. Let's go to legfat.org. We'll view that. And these are articles that I've saved previously, and I published all those to the site, by the way. And here is the article that I just saved, Reduce Body Fat Fast. So we'll go ahead and go into that article. This time I'm going to click on Publish. And just to clarify, this is the spun version of that article that I just saved to legfat.org. So I'm going to click on Publish. Yep, I want to pick the site I'm going to submit it to. We'll pick legfat. Click Submit. Okay, here it brings up the screen where I can pick the category in that particular blog. And I can pick my top moneymaker. Remember, I had 3 moneymakers in there. I have Fat Burning Furnace banner ad. I have Luscious Legs, which is an Amazon ad. And I have a Google 468 by 15. So let's just pick the Luscious Legs for the top, let's say. And let's pick the Google one for the bottom. And by default, it will put today's date in here, but it puts a time that's in the past. So if I hit publish right now, it's not going to actually publish to the blog. It's going to go out there and it's going to sit in my project until I either manually publish it or I could delete it if I felt like it or whatever, which is what I'm going to do because I didn't completely spin up this article. This is just for demonstration. But I also have the option, I could change this time to the future and it would publish the article automatically at that time. I could change the date to tomorrow. So to give you an idea what this is useful for, I could go out and spin up 20 or 30 unique different articles, and I could schedule them to be posted to my blog, say 1 a day for the next 20 or 30 days, and walk away. And for the next 20 or 30 days, it's going to go ahead and post articles with whatever money makers I chose on the top and bottom of them to my blog. It's going to just keep going out there just like it's supposed to, scheduled, and keep throwing those articles out on my blog according to the schedule that I tell it to. So for now, I'll just leave this, like I said, this time by default is in the past. I'll just leave that in here and hit publish. And, it takes me to the project that I was working in there. So I'm on the legfat.org project. And down here are the articles that I have published to the blog already before. And here's the one we were just working on. So I could either hit publish now, and it'll go ahead and throw it right out to the blog, or I could remove it. And I'm going to remove it because, like I said before, this is just for demonstration. I didn't completely spin the article or anything. But I'm going to go ahead and take you to legfat.org and show you a couple of the other articles here that I've already posted. Okay, here we are. Here's an article I posted a little while ago, tonight actually, and here's an Amazon ad on top, my top money maker. My bottom money maker, remember my Google ad there I was showing you? Right there. Here's an article I posted, I guess, yesterday or earlier today, and I used a ClickBank fat burning furnace banner for my money maker on top of that, and I think I used the same money maker on the bottom. And it's pretty slick, you know. I'm going to go ahead and put a bunch of my sites into killer content, and I'm going to spin up a whole bunch of unique articles, and I'm going to schedule them to post to my sites over the next 20 or 30 days, and I'm going to see what happens. So thanks for watching my video, and there'll be more updates and more review